Okay, so here's a little video for people who missed the live stream earlier. My gauge cluster came in today. I still have it wrapped up because I don't want to get my dirty fingerprints on it. And again, don't mind my dirty table. We just finally got the last of the furniture moved in here that we're gonna be getting alright, be cleaning up all this shit. But this is the place that did it. The gentleman's name is Don Bassman, Baseman. I hope I'm not butchering your last name, Don. But yeah, this right here was a project. So is that bent? No. So this was a project because that connector right there is very rare. It's a 12-pin connector. My car has a 12-pin harness in it, and and when I got my car, it was devoid of any interior. I even had to. I bought a dash that I'm gonna be having restored as well at some point. And then this is the gauge pod. So in the beginning, I was thinking, plug and play. Just build them like what my car normally had. And instead of a tack being here, it was dummy lights, and the fuel gauge was right here. But it still had the 160 speed on. And I got to thinking, because when I first saw the picture of this, it was just a housing. There's nothing else. No gauges, no printed circuit board, nothing. No gauge pod, because my car didn't originally have that. So I said to Don, why don't we just build it out like they had in '71? What a '71 would have had for the rally gauge pack. And so that's what he did for me. Now, when it comes to my car, since it had a original cluster with dummy lights, I'm gonna have to take out of my 12-pin connector. I'm gonna have to take the wires out for the fuel gauge and the volts, and I'm gonna have to leave those aside and find out what kind of connector goes on to this gauge pod, because this gauge pod has its own wiring harness. It's like a short harness, and then tie those together for the pod. And then as far as the rest of this goes, I shouldn't have to touch anything else on the 12-pin. When I go to Ames to get my sheet metal pieces, I looked it up. They sell a tack harness. So the tack harness goes in here, and then that'll go to my MSD box or whatever distributor I end up using once the car is put together to run for good. But yeah, this thing was built from scratch. I'm sworn to secrecy on price, because he did me a solid on this one, because I'd been trying to find one for a while. But in any event, every one of these jobs that he does, because this is what he does, he rebuilds these, and sometimes, like in my case, he built them from nothing. So every case is different. So he has it's like a free he does like a free inspection. You just have to send your gauge cluster in. He runs through it, sees what works, what doesn't work, what needs to be replaced, what doesn't, and then he'll give you a quote from there. So, like I said, every case is different, you know. But what I will say is, even though he did me a solid, it wasn't cheap. But I don't have to worry about anything going wrong on this. You know what I mean? I know this is going to work without an issue. And also, it's also been upgraded to LED lighting, so it won't be dim like the old '70s gauges were. This is going to be nice and bright. I was kind of fooling around with the idea of doing the red backlighting because on my third gen, I loved how the instrument cluster lit up in that. But that was the letters that lit up red, not the whole backlighting. And he sent me some pictures with the red lighting, and it didn't look that great. So I went with the original lighting, just with LEDs, and that's the only upgrade. Basically, this is what a 71 Trans Am with rally gauges would have had. This is it. Like if I bought a Firebird with rally gauges from the factory, I could just plug this in and go. But since my car did not come with that option, I'm going to have to, you know, and it's not that hard. I just got to take a couple wires out of the, and I'm pretty sure I already know which ones they are, because I can see right on the, I can see right here the two that are missing. So I gotta look at my plug and see if there's two wires there, and if there are, those are the two wires that I gotta pull out and move over for this. So, but I'm still going to download the shop manual and make sure so I don't burn the thing down. But for right now, they are. I was toying around with the idea of setting them up in my bedroom and like having them as like a show off thing, but I don't know. They're all wrapped up nice and neat. I don't want anything happening to the circuit board on the back or anything. This table embarrasses the fuck out of me. I gotta show you guys the rest of my house so you know I don't live like fucking Barry Beamer. This is my girl's desk area. This is our living room. My son loves the TV for gaming. Hardwood floors throughout the place. Second floor. This is another room. This was my girl's daughter's room. She's since moved out and needs to get her shit out of here. We're talking like 4, 5, 6 years ago she moved out and her shit's still in there. We use it as storage now. Bathroom. This is my son's room when he comes over on the weekend. We've just been putting stuff all over the place because my girl does arts and crafts throughout the week. While my son isn't here, 'cause he only comes over on the weekends. So she does like these bead artwork things. She likes those. So yeah, this is all of his Legos that he likes, that he's built and stuff. He likes to show off his stuff. He's got his TV and more of his Lego buildings and stuff. Do not disturb when we're doing Ron Jeremy action. This is the new bed that we just got. I can't wait to try this thing out and finally get a good night's sleep. This thing's awesome. It's got like I can't even turn the fucking, but I can't turn the light on because my battery is just about dead. But there's like these jacks right here for your phone. So that's pretty cool. There's one that's an actual plug, and then there's some jacks and stuff. And now that the bed's set up for good, we can start putting stuff because there's drawers on the side here. So I can start putting everything away, which will be nice. Oh, shit. But yeah, so that's just a little walkthrough. That's my best friend right there. That's Tigger. If he were here in person, he would run and hide behind the couch. Yeah, get out of my way, bub. Meow. Meow. Hey. Meow. He likes to play this game through the bars. Through the bars. He's a good dude. So yeah, just so that you guys don't think I live like fucking Barry Beamer. This is just like my little area. I'm just, like I said, I'm cleaning stuff up. I'm throwing shit out. I'm going through stuff. But that's it. Alright guys, until the next one.